Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. Well, I do what I do for you. I got something nice for you. We about to be initiated into the order of right thinking philosophy. Prepare yourself, right thinkers. Let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. Let's get started. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers do just that. So I give you knowledge and information, instructions for you to do just that. Know thyself. I got you. So I ask the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Let's go. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and thinks and believes that they know is dangerous. Excuse me. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not. Excuse me. And knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up. That's what I can do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Let's get to the initiation. I've been dying to get this on. I've been waiting for this. So let's get this party started. Right thinkers, let's talk about, first of all, what is initiation? And if I got time, I'm going to take you to the initiatic way of education, and we're going to get to that anyway because I'm going to follow you through this whole chapter of initiation. Let's go. What does it mean to tread the path of yoga? Being an initiate is not what most people think of when they hear a yoga practitioner, such as myself. Well, what you do, it's hard to explain. Tune in, I can show you better than I can tell you. And there are many, what's this, misconceptions about the teachings of yoga, and there are many misconceptions about those who practice yoga. Sometimes the image of a cross-legged man, when you think yoga, everybody think the lotus position. That's what it's called, with legs locked, and comes to mind. Seeing a guy sitting there. I'm not doing that. I haven't locked my legs. Period. Don't do it. Ain't gonna do it. Don't change nothing about what's going on over here. Okay, understand that. Sometimes wandering Asiatics come to mind. Okay, people just vagabonds, going through life. Sometimes an image of a what? An incredible limber person. Every time you see yoga people, they stretching, they doing this crazy stuff. That's tantra yoga. They teaching you positions, which is fine. I just ain't practicing it, not doing it. And watch this. Sometimes a figure in a meditation posture, transcending the world, comes to mind. Uh-uh. I use this. Sometimes a figure in a meditation posture transcending. Okay, you did that. Excuse me. And also, sometimes people think that yoga can drive you crazy. So they picture a fanatical person uttering intelligible words. I've seen Christians, Muslim, and Jews fanatical do the same thing. So it's all mental. Moving on. Excuse me. Sometimes the image of the media, here you go, from the traditional church has promoted an image, excuse me, of a cult, mysterious and unnatural personalities are as practitioners of yoga. They always picture them as some weird, crazy guys. So they also picture cults and fanaticism. You show the crazy people wilding out. You show the guy looking all strange. So you give it a bad taste. But yoga is union with God, your higher self. So you practice meditation. They know that. So they don't care what you think about them for real. All right. So question again, what is initiation? Let's go. You've been initiated right now. If you're following somebody's views and concepts, you're being initiated. You're being indoctrinated. You're following their concepts. And let's keep going. And then a bad thing. But the great personalities, watch this, of the past, known to the world, excuse me, as Aset, Haru, Jesus, Buddha, and many other great sages, which I profess to be. And watch this. Where you at? Okay. And other sages and saints were what? Initiated where? Into their spiritual path. So how did initiation help them and what were they specifically initiated into? Great question. I'm a Mason. When before I came a Mason, I was wondering what y'all do, how y'all do, what's going on. To be one, you have to ask one. So I asked one. They brought me in. I learned, practiced it over 20 years. So I have Masonic knowledge. Moving on. That's another thing. Many people think of initiation. What's this? When associated with spiritual studies as some kind of fantastic event, which will what? In the end of itself, cause a major transformation in a person's life. And that's the intent of any organization that's doing something positive to change your life. Religious concept is based on that. So watch this. Change a person's life. Initiation should be thought of what? Less as an event and more as a process of what? Embarking, engaging on a journey, the spiritual journey, psycho-spiritual journey of what? A spiritual living, which will lead to what? Spiritual enlightenment. Right there. Put a pin in that. What I teach, how I live, that's spiritual discipline, following certain rules, aka Maya philosophy, the 42 confessions of Maya. That's what I profess. That's what I master, and that's what I teach. That philosophical concept. But the twist is I put my personal knowledge and understanding with it. Hence, right thinking. But it's a yogic form. It's initiation to what? Higher consciousness to get you to think to be a better person. That's what the Masons do. We take men and make men better. Okay, moving on. So that's the concept of how I teach. Esoteric messaging, symbolic messaging. Teach you and breaking it down so you can understand it and then use it. If I give you a weapon and don't tell you how it functions and how to use it, it's no good to you. So giving you information that does you no good is a waste of both of our time. I don't do that. I tell you what I do. It's for you. Take the knowledge, get the message, and use it. That's what it's for. That's why I do it. Trying to stay calm. Now, with this broad understanding, most of it misunderstanding, it should be clear what? That this entire book, okay, oh, it's a lot of information in this book that will get you to the next level of understanding to get to know thyself. That's the goal. That's my point. So let's go. Now, where we at? It should be clear that this entire book is an initiation of you, right, thinkers. And I use my viewers, or I see my viewers as students. All of those who want to learn what I'm doing, I'm here 24/7, all day, all the time. So if you come here, know what you're coming for. Some people happen by chance. Okay, I appreciate y'all. But once you get here and see what I'm doing, it's your choice to go with it or just move on. So I do what I do to try to help you. And watch this. You, the reader, it helps you into what? The higher teachings and advancements of life. Every time you turn a page and I read to you, you are learning what? More and more about what? The world. And as you do, you are learning more and more about yourself. In this section, I will discuss the process of initiation, that's my point, and the way in which spiritual knowledge is imparted. I'm a teacher. I'm a master maker. I'm going to help you master yourself. Nothing else. No, no, not the streets. Not the, no, no. Yourself. That's what I got for you. Okay, understand that. So let's go. From the time of immemorial, the tradition of what? Teacher, student. I'm the teacher. My viewers, you're the students. I treat you as such and I respect you for that. So move on. Watch this. Now, teacher, student have been carried on by who? The sages and the saints the world over. We keep the message, we keep the knowledge going. Why? That's what we do. We learn it, we profess it, we live it, and we pass it on. Moving on. That's my job. This is evident how, even in the world's religion, here we go. Everything comes back to religion because religion has a lot of power on the community and society as a whole. I'm doing a lesson now. Ask a question right now, put out there. Is religion the root of all evil? No, no. Before you jump and just answer, give it some thought. Okay, moving on. Just drop that for you. But I got a lesson for you coming up. So your opinion is cool, but I got mine. I'm gonna express it to you. Now, it should be seen as an event. Okay, Hathor of ancient Egypt was initiated by who? Tahuti. I gave you the story when she came into the world to do God's will. What? Taking care of the unrighteous, and it got to this point where the unrighteous looked like the righteous, or the righteous looked like the unrighteous. Long story short, she lost her way. She got confused, and Tahuti had to come and help her out, give her instructions, calm her down. You see how a person, they get crazy? Somebody had to be able to calm them down. That person is your conscious, your mind. That's why that's another part of your character. This is an aspect of you. Tahuti, what? Your mind. And you got Horus of ancient Egypt was also initiated into what? The mystic teachings of who? By who? Aset, his mother. Rama, a form of Krishna, this is the Indian concept, was initiated into the teachings by a sage of Vashista. Jesus, hello, was initiated, baptized as y'all called it, into the teachings by who? John the Baptist. If Jesus is so smart and he knew everything, he was God, he had to be baptized and initiated. So he had to learn some things too. Okay, understand that. Just putting it out there. So everybody who's doing something was initiated to do what they do. Simple. Okay, I'm initiating y'all into right thinking philosophy. It's up to you to make it work for you. Now, as in other spiritual disciplines of life, your spiritual studies what requires listen, an authentic teacher. It don't get more authentic than this. I'm P-Funk. I'm pure real. I'm going to give it the way I get it. Simple as that. I don't cut it. Understand that. And the way the drug game is now, these young kids don't have no idea about making money. Why? Y'all just muse. Y'all just tit it and send it. When I got a package, that thing, I could put my own stuff on it to stretch it out and make profit. They know nothing about that now. Why? They took that out your hair because I didn't know what to do with it. So they just give it to you, just sell it. Moving on, just the concept. So when somebody tell you to just do something, they tell you, don't think, don't be in, no, just do this. Freedom of speech, freedom to be myself, being my best self, meaning I need to know myself. That's the goal as human beings. Reach that level in life. It ain't about how much you got, how much money you got, how much fame you accumulate. No. Did you have knowledge of self? How much of that did you accumulate? Because that's what they're going to question you on at Judgment Day. That's what's really important. Moving on, let me wrap this up. Now, however, right thinkers, even the greatest teacher, what, cannot teach a person who is not qualified to learn. That's your ones who don't know that they know and don't care that they don't know. You leave them alone. And those who think they know and don't know, you have to leave them alone also. Moving on, that's what they're telling you. So therefore, we will begin by enumerating the 10 virtues of the spiritual aspirant. On the next page, I'm going to break that down for you. I got that coming up. You have to hold yourself accountable to abide by certain rules and guidelines. As a Mason, I had to abide by Masonic law. Simple. Moving on. Now, what we got? Okay. Now, what happens? These imply the qualities that everyone that anyone desires to what? Practice spirituality, you need to work on these qualities of your character. That's why I give it to you for master every aspect of your character. They're not real. They're aspects that you can manifest to make them real. Okay? The teachings of yoga, right thinking philosophy, and your mystical religion. Religion means you're practicing it daily. That's what religion means. If you practice it daily, you'll get good at it. And the purpose of it was to get you to know yourself, to relink you to your past, understanding who you are from the aspect of living a certain way of life. That's what we teach you as right thinkers. Live, do, and be your best, and you'll be rewarded for that. If not, you're just going to come back again till what? You get it, right? I'm just trying to help you on this go round. Let's go. Where we at? Now, you got the teachings of right thinking philosophy, also mystical religions, and the means by which an ordinary, you hear that? I'll take an ordinary human being and I can raise you to the state of what? Spiritual enlightenment. My job is to take the ignorant. As a Mason, I done raised many ignorant brothers from the dead level to the living level with knowledge of Masonic law. I practice that. Now I'm doing it spiritually with right thinking philosophy, the yoga concept from our ancients. I went and got it. I'm doing it now. And guess what? It still works. Moving on. Let me wrap this up. I'm almost done. What happens there? These teachers were what? In ancient times, what? Passed on through an exact system, which what? Which involves, you ready? The first one, listening. You tune in, the first you do is listen. I'm talking, you listening. And then you to what? Study on what you heard and meditate upon the teachings in what? A proper environment with what? With the proper guidance. This method of teaching is known as initiatic way of education. We call it right thinking philosophy. Watch this. And there are many styles of yoga, although their goals are all the same. Hear me? Every religion is different, but they all have the same goal, to get you to God. Simple. Union with what? God. This is what I do. I'm trying to help you. When you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, you'll do fine. Last one. And these include what? Yoga of intuitive wisdom of the divine. We should automatically know God, but that's what you can be learning from yoga concept of wisdom. Next one is yoga of devotional union with the divine. Again, I pray every day. I go into meditative state with my higher self. This is how you connect with your higher self. He ain't out there. He's in here. Yoga of meditation and mind control. One of my favorites. Because that's how you use your mind, by controlling it with meditation and connecting with your higher self. Then you got yoga of virtuous living. Another one of my favorites. Living right, doing right. Virtue is doing the right thing when nobody's watching, because you're conscious of your higher self. He's always watching. The eye don't close. Wrapping it up. Excuse me. And the best one is yoga of cultivation of the latent life force energy, aka, remember that lesson? Serpent power, aka Kundalini. It's all about communion with your higher self, coming to grips with being one with your higher self, aka knowing thyself. Right, thinkers? That's going to end the lesson of initiation. Hope I got my point across. I'm coming back with some more for you, but in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and be 100 minus a day. So I never knew that right thinkers like you have passed away.